So, you're thinking about buying a new car in Bhutan? Well, you might want to hold that thought for a second. There's a huge change coming to the country's tax system in 2026, and, it could end up saving you a serious amount of money. Let's break down exactly how much we're talking about.
All right, so what does this all actually mean for the price you pay at the dealership? That's the big question, right? To figure this out, we're going to take a deep dive and run the numbers on one of Bhutan's most popular cars, the Celerio.
Okay, first things first. Before we can look at the future, we have to understand the present. We need to figure out exactly what a Celerio VXI costs right now, and maybe more importantly, why it costs that much.
And every single calculation, it all starts right here, with the X factory price. Just think of this as the pure baseline cost of the car itself, straight from the factory. No extras, no taxes, this is our starting point.
For our Celerio VXI, that baseline price is just a little over 524,000 Gultram. Now, you're going to want to remember this number because everything else we talk about gets built right on top of it.
And here's where that price tag really starts to balloon. Right now, there's a 45% sales tax and a 10% green tax. You add those two together, and wow, you get a staggering 55% total tax burden.
I mean, just let that sink in for a moment. The taxes alone add more than half of the car's original cost right back on top. That is a massive chunk of what you're paying at the showroom.
So after you take our base price and you slap on that huge 55% tax, this is where you land. The final ex-showroom price for a Celerio VXI today is over 812,000 Gultram. So this is our before picture. But starting in 2026, that whole picture is about to change. A brand new tax system is rolling out, so let's jump in and calculate what that future price is going to look like. So, you can say goodbye to those old sales and green taxes. They're being replaced. The new system is going to use a goods and services tax, or GST, plus a more specific excise tax on things like cars. Now, under this new system, the GST is going to be 5%, and the excise tax will be 36%. You add them up, and that brings the total tax burden down to 41%. That's a full 14 percentage points lower than the current 55%. That's a really big deal.
And you can really see the difference here, can't you? We're starting with that exact same X-factory price, but that tax component under the new system, it's just so much smaller. The math is finally starting to work in the buyer's favor.
So when we take that new, lower 41% tax rate and apply it to our original base price, this is the result. The projected ex-showroom price for the Celerio VXI from 2026 is just under 740,000 Gultram.
Okay, this is what it all comes down to. This is the moment we've been waiting for. We've seen the before, we've seen the after. Now let's put them side by side and see what the real-world impact is.
So on the left, you've got today's price. On the right, the future price. You can already see the seesaw is tipping in a good direction for buyers. But the question is, by how much exactly?
And here it is, the magic number. The total savings on just one Celerio VXI comes out to more than 73,000 Gultram. I mean, that is a pretty significant amount of money to leave in your pocket.
To put that another way, this is about a 9% reduction from the current showroom price. For a huge purchase like a car, a 9% price drop is, well, it's a very big deal. Okay, now before we all get too excited and start celebrating, there is one final, really important piece of this puzzle that we have to talk about. These numbers are all based on one key assumption. So let's just look at all the numbers one last time. We've got our base price, the old total, the new total, and that pretty exciting savings figure. It all looks perfect. But there's a little catch, and it's hidden in that very first number. And here is the catch. This entire calculation, all of this good news, that almost 74,000 Gultram in savings, it all hinges on the X factory price, that base cost from the manufacturer, staying exactly the same. If that base price goes up between now and 2026, it's going to start eating into these savings.
And that leaves us with the final critical question, doesn't it? The new tax law is definitely creating a price drop on paper. But will inflation and changes to the car's base cost wipe out those savings before buyers can even take advantage of them? Well, I guess only time will tell.